Welcome students, we got this question. We got the 6th root of 4 of 7 raised to the power of 5th root of 8. This entire quantity is raised to the power of 30th root of 4 raised to the power 11. So you can try to pause the video and attempt to get the solution. Now let me rewrite this. So rewriting, I'm going to get 7 raised to the power of 5th root of 8. Now this has to be raised to the power of 1 over 6th root of 4, and this entire thing is raised to the power of 30th root of 4 raised to the power 11. Now you might be wondering, why am I writing it like this? So the best way to understand is, suppose you have third root of 3. How are you going to write this? Third root of 3. This can be rewritten as 3 raised to the power 1 over 3. Now what have we got here? We have actually been given, I'm going to write the question, what exactly we have been given. We got 6th root of 4 placed in the wedge, and we got 7 raised to the power 5th root of 8, and this entire thing is raised to the power of 30th root of 4 raised to the power 11. This is what we have actually got. So if I were to rewrite this, this would what it would result, because this is placed in the wedge. So anything that is placed in the wedge, if you want to remove this radical sign, then you will have to rewrite it in this fashion. Say third root of 3, if you want to remove the radical sign, then I need to rewrite it like this, 3 raised to the power 1 over 3. That is exactly what I'm doing. I've been given 6th root of 4 placed inside the wedge. So if you want to remove this radical sign, then I need to rewrite the system like this, 7 raised to the power 5th root of 8. That has to be raised to the power of 1 over 6th root of 4, that is raised to the power of 30th root of 4 raised to the power 11. Now that is fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve it by parts. Okay, so whenever you're given a complex task or a problem, always try to attack the problem with one piece at a time. Okay, by this you will be able to solve any complex questions. Now having mentioned that, I'm going to consider these two quantities. Now you will have to understand this from the law of indices. If I have some quantity like this, a raised to the power m, that is raised to the power 1 over n, I can rewrite this as a raised to the power m over n. Now in this case I'm going to use the same law of index, but I'm not going to be using the component, the base. I'm not going to be much bothered about the base first. I want to resolve the index. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to consider 5th root of 8. This is in the denominator, divided by 6th root of 4. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the LCM of 5 and 6. That is going to be 30. Next, what I'm going to do is I would want to find out by how many times 5 can divide 30. 5 divides 30 6 times. So this is going to be rewritten as 8 raised to the power of 6 with 30 being present in the wedge. So what exactly I'm trying to do, let me show it here. Now 5th root of 8 is actually 8 raised to the power 1 over 5, right? Now we have already got the LCM as 30. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place 30 in the wedge. So instead of 5, I'm going to place 30. Now to counter that 30, I'm placing 6 here. Or in other words, 30th root of 8 raised to the power 6 is actually rewritten as 8 raised to the power 6 over 30. This is the exact case that we wanted. Now why are we doing this? You will understand in a minute. So clearly 5th root of 8 is nothing but 8 raised to the power 5. And this is exactly the same thing that we are doing, but we are doing it in a fashion that would allow us to solve the question. So that is imperative. So having got this, step number 2, find out how many times can 6 divide, this is actually 30. Find out by how many times 6 can divide 30. So that's going to be 5 times. Now what you need to do is you have to take that component of 5 and place it there. So this is going to be, so let me show this over here one more time. So I've got 6th root of 4, which can be rewritten as 4 raised to the power 1 over 6. This is what we have got. Now I'm going to place 30 here and then raise this to the power of 5. Indirectly what I'm doing, I'm rewriting this as 4 raised to the power 5 over 30, which is actually nothing but 4 raised to the power 1 over 6. Now I'm doing some changes. Why? To facilitate we solving the question. That is the main reason. So this is going to be 30th root of 4 raised to the power 5. So after achieving this change, now comes the simplification part. I need to achieve the simplification. Now this can now be rewritten as 8 raised to the power 6 raised to the power 1 over 30 divided by 4 raised to the power 5 raised to the power 1 over 30. Now if you have a raised to the power some m and b raised to the power the same m, I can rewrite this as a over b raised to the power m from the law of indices. So this is now equal to 8 raised to the power 6 divided by 4 raised to the power 5, the whole raised to the power 1 over 30. So now you know why did I do all these. For what? To arrive at this juncture, so that I can easily solve them now. I can reduce them now. In this case, it is totally impossible for me to make any reduction. So such alterations are critical for problem solving. But make sure that we have the law and we are going in accordance with the mathematical law. That's critical. So having mentioned that, now I'm going to solve this. So how am I going to solve it? Now I've got 8 raised to the power 6 and I've got a 4 here. So I'm going to write 8 as 4 times 2. This is raised to the power 6 and you got 1 over 30 here. Now this is divided by, I got 4 raised to the power 5. I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm just retaining it as it is. Now what is this equal to? This is equal to 4 raised to the power 6 multiplied with 2 raised to the power 6. This entire thing is raised to the power 1 over 30 divided by 4 raised to the power 5. Now clearly 4 raised to the power 5 and this can be cancelled, giving me a 4 and a 2 raised to the power 6, and this entire thing is raised to the power 1 over 30. Now 2 raised to the power 6, what is 2 raised to the power 6? So let me use the space here. 2 raised to the power 6 is nothing but 2 multiplied with 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 2. I get a 4 here, I get a 4 here, and I get a 4 here, which is nothing but 4 raised to the power 3, right? So this quantity, I'm going to rewrite it as, let me use the space here, as 4 multiplied with 4 raised to the power 3. This is raised to the power 1 over 30, which is nothing but, now by the law of index, a raised to the power m times a raised to the power n is equal to a raised to the power m plus n. So by this, I can rewrite this as 4 raised to the power 1 positive 3 raised to the power 1 over 30, which is nothing but 4 raised to the power 4 raised to the power 1 over 30. Now by the law of index, a raised to the power m raised to the power 1 over n is equal to a raised to the power m divided by n. So this is nothing but, I can manipulate this to suit my needs, but what I would do is I will just retain it as it is. Let me not trouble this. Now what did I do? All these cases, I have just taken this quantity and I have reduced this quantity to be like this. So let me rewrite the starting point of the question. So we started hence 7 raised to the power of 5th root of 8 that divided by 6th root of 4 raised to the power of third root of 4 raised to the power 11 is equal to 7. Instead of this quantity, instead of this entire quantity, I'm choosing to rewrite it like this: 7 raised to the power of 4 raised to the power of 4 over 30, right? By this law, a raised to the power m raised to the power 1 over n is a raised to the power m over n. So I'm just writing it like this. Now this is actually raised to the power of 30th root of 4 raised to the power 11. Now this can be rewritten as 4 raised to the power of 11 over 30. So this is what we have got, 4 raised to the power 11 over 30. Now we are going to only consider the exponents, right? So let me draw this space up here. So this is 4 raised to the power 4 over 30, and this is a product, and this is multiplied with 4 raised to the power of 11 over 30. So this is what we've got. Now this is similar to a raised to the power m multiplied with a raised to the power n, which can be rewritten as a raised to the power m plus n. We can do this, right? So by this, I can rewrite this entire quantity as 4 raised to the power 4 over 30 plus 11 over 30. So when you add these two quantities, what do you get? You'll get 4 raised to the power 4 plus 11 will give you 15. LCM is common, so it's going to be 30 there. Now 15 divides 30 2 times, so that's going to be 4 raised to the power 1 over 2, right? But what is 4 raised to the power 1 over 2? It's nothing but root of 4. So what is root of 4? Root of 4 is nothing but 2. So this entire thing that we just saw here boils down to 2, which is equal to 7 raised to the power 2, which is nothing but 49. So this is the solution. Students, please give your comments if you have got some other easier way to approach this question. Please post it. Thank you very much, students. Have a wonderful time.